I don't know, is it a hit or an error that people are voting for so many more guys on the ballot? And I asked you because I was surprised by your ballot, that you had, I believe, eight guys on
Nine, nine.
nine, nine guys on your ballot. And it was like you went to places I didn't anticipate you would go. And I'm not asking this in a
Yeah, no.
I'm not sure I'm doing this right anymore. I had two guys on my ballot, and I feel like I stretched for two. Like I've gone beyond what I think was historically a Hall of Famer to get. I thought Beltran was over the line, no matter how I voted ever. I think Utley is a guy who's over the line for me. How I think about it now. Do I have to go another half a percentage and be like the guys who I'm sitting borderline with now, like the Pedroias, um, Jimmy,
Felix,
Jimmy,
Felix.
Jimmy Rollins, Felix? Maybe I'm too stuck in a old way of thinking and I should open this up because clearly it feels to me like, John, would you have done this ballot 10 years ago? Like, have you evolved to a place? And I wonder if so, like, I don't know whether to give people who are doing this a hit or error. So I'm going to give
Yeah.
you the forum for hit or error here.
Well, I better give it a hit since I voted for nine, but I get it. I certainly have evolved. I wouldn't have done this ballot, 20 years ago or whenever I started doing ballots. When I did six, I thought that was a lot one year. I probably did an average of four, and there were bigger ballots than this one. This obviously was not a spectacular ballot. There was one super obvious candidate for both of us, and that was Beltran. I thought Andruw Jones was a Hall of Famer. I'm glad those are the two that got in. Those were the two I think most deserving of the group. But yeah, I'm now evolved, and I certainly grade peak. I certainly take into account position. I am a little bit easier, I think, than I had been on catcher. I think in center field we've been a little bit too tough. I'd like to see Edmund. I don't know if Edmonds, Bernie Williams, and Kenny Lofton are Hall of Famers. I didn't vote for them when they were on the ballot. I might now. And I don't like that 5% rule. I think that should be out. Either that or don't limit it to 10. Although if you don't limit it to 10, Morosi will vote for everybody on the ballot. So, I and I love John. I love JP. So, yeah, I get it. I'm not sure if that's a hit or an error. I'm going to give an error or two. One is to me, and I'm sorry on this. To me, Jimmy Rollins should be a Hall of Famer. I think he started with almost nothing, right? He did get over 5% at the beginning. It's evolving, and he feels like he's going in the right direction. But I'm not sure why he's 40% below Utley. You obviously think Utley's a little over, and Rollins is a little under, and 40% of people agree with you. So I think Rollins is under.
He's my
But
toughest borderline, John.
yeah, he's
I
my. I
hover
think.
over him every year because I think he was, he's very similar to me. You mentioned, I think we've been tough on center fielders. And by the way, uh, to me, Lofton, Edmonds, and Bernie are better players than Andruw Jones. Like I would, if you said those four guys are on a ballot and I had to start ranking them, the other three would get ahead. And maybe in the way I'm thinking, I would vote for all three now. And I'll tell you a guy who, like, obviously the analytic world hates, and he fell off the ballot quickly. To me, Jimmy Rollins is very much like Johnny Damon. Like you had to watch it a lot where you're like, this guy is such a winning player. Like he just does so many good things. Then Rollins' defense was better than Damon's defense in center field. But like their speed, a little power, and just hey, it's a big at bat. I love that's who's up. Like
Yeah.
John Damon or Jimmy
Yeah, I
Rollins.
thought Rollins was a great defender. I know he only won, I think, three or four Gold Gloves, but I think he was a great defender. He was a leader of a team that won a championship and came close, certainly in '09 against the Yankees. Was always in the playoffs in that group, and I voted for.
Tough for me.
I don't separate them, but again, we separated Whitaker and Trammell, and I don't know if that was the right thing to do either. The other thing is, and I know we talk about evolving, and I generally like the idea that people are evolving. I don't think it looks great that Andruw Jones had 7% of the vote when he started out. And I'm in favor of not knocking people off less than five because we do have this. But I've thought Andruw Jones is a Hall of Famer. So, I think we look funny. We now have 78%. We've gone from 7% to 78%. Everybody's minds change. I think social media, it's too much. There's too much. People are too easily influenced by what they read. I don't think you have to be as, I don't want to say stubborn, but as set as Rob Parker is. He votes for a guy and he's going to always vote for him. He doesn't vote for a guy, he's never going to vote for him. In a way, that's admirable, though. He knows what he likes. He's a hall guy, and I think it works out that there are big hall guys like JP and there's small hall like Rob. And I think ultimately we get most of the guys in who should get in. I think it's a shame we didn't put Dave Parker in. It's a shame we didn't put Fred McGriff in. There are other guys that I think we should have put in. Mattingly, many. There's many, and I'm glad we have a veterans committee. I did think Kent was a Hall of Famer, although he wasn't my first choice on that ballot. So I think they do the right thing, but it looks weird to me that somebody had 7% of the vote 5 years after he's retired, and now he's got 78. And again, I thought Andruw Jones was a Hall of Famer, and now I kind of think and I didn't vote for Bernie, and I didn't Edmund. I think they're both Hall of Famers, and I wouldn't object to Kenny Lofton either. So I don't know, why are we tough on center field? That's the
I don't know.
most romantic, mystical position that there is, right?
John, in some way, I've covered the sport since the mid 80s, so that's 40 years. In those 40 years, the only two center fielders I covered, Kirby Puckett and Ken Griffey, were the only two who got in until yesterday, two more. And so I'm with you. I think that there was something almost mythical about like Willie, Mickey, and the Duke. It's literally a song, and Griffey. And we like made that the thing. And maybe we really, and by the way, that includes me. Like I notice how fallible my ballot could be when I'm like, you know what? Should I have calmed down? And Jim Edmonds is he's not Ken Griffey, but he's a Hall of Famer. Bernie
Right,
Williams,
Bernie. You know
Bernie
what? I didn't
Williams,
vote for Bernie. Bernie, I look at
Kenny
his
Lofton. Like
playoff.
I
Beltran to me was a Hall of Famer anyway, but the playoff
full
certainly
season.
helps. I think Bernie, same thing. His bulk numbers in the playoffs are spectacular.
Yes.
I saw somebody on MLB. I don't remember, so I'm not going to say that Bernie was the best player on these teams. That's not true. We hopefully we didn't forget Derek Jeter. He was
Right.
the best player, right? I mean, you were there, right? You were there every
Yes.
game. Derek
Yes.
Jeter is the best player, but just because you're the second best player on the greatest dynasty ever,
Well,
and
look
it
at it this way,
is.
John. Look at how many Braves who couldn't beat the
That's what I
Yankees.
was just gonna say. The
Like all
Braves have
these
like
Braves
seven
are getting
people.
in. They have better PR than the
Yeah,
Yankees.
what are the Yankees?
I always
Yankees
hear
had
there's Yankee
Jeter.
bias.
What are they?
Like
There's no Yankee bias. Jeter, that's so ridiculous. Jeter, Posada,
Rivera and Torre,
Torrey.
right? Jeter.
Well, we got to count Tim Raines, right? And does Andruw Jones? No, Andruw Jones is after.
Oh, he
After
was
Andrew,
after, and Tim Raines was Hall of Fame case is from mainly the
right?
Expos.
Two and a half. Then we got two and a half. I think the Braves had about seven, right?
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, the Sherholtz got in, right? And no
yeah.
GMs get in. Uh, I don't know.
I mean, ultimately, I think Cashman gets in at
Right.
the point in the like when his career is
Now, how
over.
many GMs actually get into the Hall of Fame?
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
A
Pat
lot of good
Gillick.
PR.